With the Igloo Cooler, it's a little bit different than doughing into a kettle. What we're going to do is heat our water to about 170 degrees. At 170 degrees in room temperature grain, when the two are mixed, you mix at about 150 degrees. We want to mash at 150 degrees. This works out perfect. When I add my water to my cooler, I actually raise it to about 180 degrees for a few reasons. First off, if I try and pour in at 170 and I lose a degree or two, I'm at 168, now I gotta reheat my water. By adding 180 and then slowly cooling it to the 170, I can be exact. Secondly, I feel that it heats the cooler for me. By preheating the cooler, I don't have to worry about the walls of it being cool. I store my cooler in my garage, so the last thing I want is a cold cooler. As far as doughing in goes, we want to go through the same process that Tyler went through with his mash tun, in that we want to avoid dough balls, stir while somebody else pours. You can do this by yourself, single hand stirring and pouring, but it's much easier with a partner. What we're going to do is open the cooler. Tyler's going to go ahead and push it in. That didn't sound right. Tyler will dump the grains in. I'll slowly stir. Now with our false bottom, because we have it hard plumbed into the cooler, we don't have any concerns with our grains getting under our false bottom, unlike some of our competitors' false bottoms that have the hose holding the false bottom on. In this case, our false bottom is hard plumbed, as you remember in the design, so none of the grains will get under there, and it will not cause a stuck mash. So be safe, go with an AIH false bottom. Okay, we're perfect. One thing to point out while you're mashing in an Igloo Cooler is not to take your temperature reading instantly. What you want to do is put a thermometer in there and let it sit for about 10 minutes. By taking it right away, the grains and the water haven't mixed yet, so your temperature will be high. A lot of people get concerned with that, add cold water, and of course, 10 minutes they find out that they're too cold. So make sure, give it some time before adding any cold water. Allow the temperatures to blend with the grains. As far as thermometers go, I like the lab thermometers. They are the most accurate. They're also glass. Be very careful not to break them. But simply plug it in there, throw on your top, and in about 10 minutes we'll check that temperature. So very important that we stay in that 148 to 158 range with your temperature. The lower you are, closer to 148, the thinner your beer will be. The higher you are, closer to 158, the thicker your beer will be. With this beer, we're shooting for about mid to low as far as body goes. So I'm looking for about a 150, 152. So after the 10 minutes, we've got our thermometer in there, and we pull that up and look. We're actually at 152 degrees. Again, one of the reasons I love the Igloo Coolers, you add the 170 water, you add your room temperature grain, you end up with the exact temperature you're looking for. So all we're gonna need to do now is cap it up, wait 1 hour for conversion to take place, and we'll do an iodine test in about another 50 minutes. We've been mashing about an hour now. What we want to do is check for conversion. In order to confirm conversion, we can use iodine. Iodine in the presence of starch will turn black. Iodine in the presence of sugar will not change colors. So now Tyler's going to take a sample of his, I'm going to take a sample of mine, and let's see where we're at. For your sample, you notice that we're only taking a very small amount. No need to take a whole lot here. Just need one small drop. When it goes into your mash, it'll either go away or stay the same color, or it'll turn black. If it turns black, you are not converted. You need to mash longer. If it goes away or stays clear, you're converted and you're ready to sparge. Mine's clear, perfect example. Tyler, on the other hand, is still a rookie, so he's got a little, but perfect example. You can see that it's turning black there. The reason his is black is because starch is still present. In his recipe, he did have flaked corn, which does take a longer period of time to convert. So his needs more time mashing. Mine is ready to start sparging. See how black that turned? One of the steps that homebrewers often skip is checking for conversion in your mash. By adding a small amount of iodine, we can confirm that it has been converted. If you're not converted, you need to mash longer. If you skip this step, your thermometer may be off, your malt may have high proteins and not converting necessarily as quickly as you think. Here we've got a $2,000 brew system. It's not converted. Many people would start sparging and unfortunately would end up with a bad beer. Here we've got a $150 brew system. We're converted, great. People start sparging, they'd be fine. But the idea here is if you do not check for conversion, you're not gonna get a quality batch of beer.